And I'm Cheryl Jennings, and now to our other top story, the continuing rain and all that storm damage. We're getting a new look at the devastation from the powerful storm that swept through the Bay Area yesterday, flooding highways, downing trees, and damaging homes and businesses. In Guerneville, the Russian River is already overflowing its banks and is expected to rise even higher over the next couple of hours. And that's a scary thought for folks whose homes might be flooded. ABC 7 News reporter Nick Smith is there with the latest. Nick.
Cheryl, it's scary because those who live here know that they need to keep their eye on the river, but they're taking it all in stride. Many of them will be using kayaks like this to get around should the water get much higher, but they're hoping that it will crest soon and start to recede.
And then it goes around the back of these two houses and then comes right here where the bridge is.
It just so happens that the right here is his front yard. The gravel parking lot has been transformed into a mini lake. Construction workers in the middle of raising his neighbor's house are spending the day trying to salvage what they can. Then the call to the guy who owns the house, words he knows no homeowner wants to hear.
We are flooded. We are technically flooded.
It was a theme often repeated. Flooding from the main stem of the Russian River predicted to hit Guerneville the hardest. Below Rocket Canyon Highway is where Drake Road and the Russian River meet, literally. Flooding this intersection and turning this miniature golf course into a version of Waterworld, complete with angry dinosaurs. These swollen banks of the Russian River are among the areas officials are most concerned about.
We don't freak out necessarily, but I do feel really bad for all the people who suffer like this.
A voluntary evacuation order is in place, but it wasn't enough to save Jay's amusement park. The annual haunted house is now home to much more than ghouls and goblins. The RV has been swallowed. It now sits feet underwater, barely visible. Behind it, the house, ruined rugs, saturated flooring, and waterlogged walls.
It's just so sad, you know. It's, you know, it only floods for a few hours, but it like really affects people's lives.
It has started to rain again, and this homeowner is keeping an eye on the water levels. In 86, there was 3 feet of water in the second floor of his living room. Right now, the water is only 12 inches from his garage. He, like everyone else here in Guerneville, hopes that the rain stops soon and the water starts to recede. In Guerneville, Nick Smith, ABC 7 News.
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, the heaviest rain may have moved